Hello, this is Mike. Today we will discuss working with mysqldump for both backup purposes and as a reindexing tool. First, we need some data in the table. To save time, let's use a demo database copy for Docker, which can be found in the video description. Run a container for testing and connect the volume to it. Connect to it and check what is in the container. Now that we have the data, let's start creating a backup using the mysqldump program. When launching it, we'll use some additional parameters. The compact option will reduce comments in the output file and disable the use of auxiliary functions during table copying, such as locking, since Manticore handles this on its own, saving time and disk space. Next, specify the host and port for connection, similar to the MySQL client. Finally, specify the name of the database in the case of Manticore. It is called Manticore, and specify the file where the data dump will be saved. If no file is specified, the data will be displayed on the screen, which can be convenient for table analysis. After a couple of moments, we have a file with our data, which can be used to restore the database content. To demonstrate how this is used, let's make a small sabotage in the database by deleting a table. Check that it is now empty, and perform the restoration. For this, exit the client and use it again, but this time add the previously obtained file to it as input. Check that the data is now in the database. The data has been successfully restored from the dump. Now let's try using the dump for reindexing. Since Manticore indexes documents at the time of their addition, in some cases, especially when the search settings in the table have been updated, reindexing may be required. There is no built-in functionality for this, but it can easily be compensated by the following method. To start, let's create conditions where reindexing is necessary by adding a Word form file. Now connect the created file to the table and check if there are immediate results. The result was not immediate, as expected. This is because the table still contains old entries indexed before we added the Word forms file. Therefore, we now need to make the old entries new by overwriting them using the replace command. Of course, this can be done manually or with scripts, but for large tables, it is more like madness. Exit the client and return to the mysqldump program, but this time, add a few more parameters for execution. In addition to compact, as mentioned earlier, include the replace parameter to replace the insert command in the dump. This is done in order to update the data rather than add duplicates. And 3 more parameters that you can memorize as etc. Here E will gather all records in the table into one large replace command for faster processing by Manticore. The parameter T will disable creating a new table as we are updating the existing one, and the parameter C will add column names to the command, which are necessary for correct data placement in the table fields. The output of mysqldump will not be sent to a file this time, but directly to the MySQL client input. Since our table was very small, the result was instantaneous. This procedure may take significantly more time for larger tables. Let's check the final result. The table has been indexed, and the Word form file is now also included in the search. Apart from this backup method, there is another way to take a full snapshot of the database files, known as a physical backup. To perform such a backup, first prepare Manticore for copying by forcing the database to unload all data from memory to disk using the freeze command. Now exit the MySQL client and perform a simple physical copy of the varlib Manticore folder for Docker. It looks like this. This is exactly the approach we used at the beginning of the video. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up.